Hi, I'm Stefanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast.
Okay, what is up, guys? Stefanie here, Chaotic Compass. How are you? Happy February. It is finally February. I think January was the longest month ever. So I'm so glad that we are finally in a different month. I don't even care if it's still cold or what's going on, but I'm so glad you're here and that you tuned in tonight. We are talking about, because, February is all about love and whatever. So I think it's so funny that everybody has this romantical feeling about how your love is supposed to come along and then you live happily ever after, but nobody talks about the ever after. Let me just talk about the ever after, okay? Especially fighting, okay? Fights are going to happen. You are two different humans and you're going to disagree. But nobody ever taught me how to fight fair, okay? So what inspired this episode was a text message I had sent to my husband, and it got me thinking more in depth of, if I don't know, and I'm almost 40, if I don't know, then I know that you don't know that I know that you don't know. So it's not something that is taught, unless you were in debate club. It's just not something that comes naturally to most humans. And I never saw good examples of what fighting looks like. So I'm going to read you the text message that inspired this. This is to Ryan. I don't know how to bring up issues without fights. I don't know how to argue fairly. I don't know how to take lack of communication and lack of quality time as not being offensive and being a direct reflection of negative love, lacking love. But I am self-aware of those things now more than ever. But I want to be better. That's it, period. Please help me to be better, because that's all I'm trying to do here. I love you, Ryan, period. It used to be when I would fight, the first thing would be I would try to make my point, and then if anybody didn't see that point, I would run. My instinct told me to run. I think it's maybe a little bit has to do with Disney, because you get the fairy tale and you get this love of your life, and all of a sudden it's not going to fairy tale standards. But what is the ever after in fairy tale standards? Nobody really gives you the aftermath except for procreate and die. What's the in between? What's the hash mark between when you're born and when you die? What does it consist of, right? And so I wanted to dive in deeper of what that is. If you ever felt like you're bad at fighting fair or misinterpret the lack of time as lack of love, this one is definitely for you. So this goes all to my my words of affirmation, people. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're more than probably a words of affirmation, but if you're not, it's cool. So for me, why does this matter? Okay, so fighting fair, we have so much going on in our lives. I can't even sum up the chaos, all together. It's just, I have a full-time job, and Ryan has been in North Carolina a lot working at this specific job. And, we have our two oldest kids who are 16 and 14 in high school and middle school, and their musicals that are going to be in April and May. And so they're in rehearsals, and so picking up and dropping off kids, and they have friends, and so picking them up and dropping them off at their friend's house, or we're getting into soccer practice and before and after school program and chorus club and, working a real job and then having to come home and, do the back end administrative side of both businesses and the chaos is very thick over here. And I'm sure your chaos looks differently, but it's still chaos for you. And it really makes it difficult for me when I'm trying to get something accomplished and I get the, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you from Ryan. As soon as he gives me the, oh yeah, I cringe and instantly get rage building up inside. And it's just because we've got so much going on and I'm trying to get something accomplished. And when you, oh yeah, me to death because your brain doesn't operate like my brain, it's, to lack of better words, it's just infuriating because I don't have the ability to pivot in the moment. I don't have that quality. And when you don't tell me things and I can't have a plan and a general idea of what my life looks like on a weekly basis, especially in the midst of chaos, when you give me one more chaotic thing that I have to pivot around, it's disheartening. But especially because my love language is words of affirmation, communication. If you go out of your way to tell me something and tell me things, it means a lot to me. And I really have a hard time when my husband doesn't communicate to me effectively and consistently, for me to take that as, well, I don't love you. And it's not that at all. It's literally just his brain and he just has forgotten. But in the moment, I'm over here like, why don't you love me enough to communicate to me? I don't know why my brain is like that, but it just is. So, I mean, just misunderstandings like that, it's just, and it's not even really a misunderstanding. It's literally just Ryan's brain and my brain just are on two different wavelengths and we're trying to do life together, and you find the cracks in the foundation, and it's important to address them effectively, but it's very difficult because when your brain operates one way and your partner operates a different way, it's really hard because he's like, I just wish you wouldn't get so upset about something like this. And I'm like, I wish that you would not forget, it's like, but I don't wish he was a different person. I just wish he was a better person in this specific arena. And I feel like every time that we get in these disagreements and, lack of a better word, argument, I feel that we key in on those insufficiencies and we don't really look at the whole picture. I know I don't, for sure. So it's a struggle. Struggling in communication during the chaos is so difficult for me, especially because our life is chaos. Struggling to disagree without it becoming a fight for me, because I always, and this comes from my past. This isn't really 100% Ryan. I feel like I always have to make sure you 100% get my point before I will ever let you hear my point. I don't know. It's something that I struggle with, and it's something that it definitely can lead to very big fights, between Ryan and I. It definitely, when, I take the lack of communication and the lack of, when he chooses to be on his phone instead of spending time with me, or he chooses to work on a Saturday instead of spending time with me, or, well, I've got to be down at this job in North Carolina, so I won't be home for days. And so that cuts into my quality time with him. And I'm not getting that time back. He's not retroactively trying to figure out, well, how can I, because it's a deficit on my part, or at least that's how I see it. And this is something that I've discussed with Ryan, but I don't know if it's actually gotten through. And unfortunately, he's not here for this episode. But it's something that I really do struggle with, not taking it personally. You choosing to be in North Carolina, well, I get it. Like, me and this one portion of my brain, the rational portion of my brain, gets it of, well, it makes sense because it's a 2-hour drive one way. So that would be 4 hours that you would be in a vehicle. Plus, it's not just you. You have, a crew that you need to get there and get back. So it makes the most sense for fuel and time to stay down there. But when you work until 6:30 or 7, and then you've got to get clean, and then you've got to feed your face and your crew's face, and you're not getting back into bed until 9:30, 10 o'clock, well, that's the time that I'm crashing and burning. And that's when you decide to text. That's hard for me. When I haven't heard from you all day because you have been sanding or painting or, whatever you're doing. And I'm not trying to make light of he's physically working. Like, it's not, I know that in my rational portion of my brain, but my love cup gets empty, and it's really hard for me to not take that personally because you're not taking the time to pour back into me. And then so it's like when you're not here, you're not here. You're not here mentally. You're not here physically. You're literally down in another state, and you're focused on what you need to do. Good for you. But you still have a wife and kids and things that are going on here and so when you come back, you're in this mode, but you're more in the, okay, so what do we've got for bills, and we got to get caught up on this, and you're in this mode, and like, I don't want to be in that mode. I just want you to love me. I want you to hold me. I want you to tell me, I want you to be able to talk to me, or I don't know. It's just so crazy how I get when I do feel like a crazy person right now, like, not gonna lie, especially with where I am at mentally with like my real job plus all the other components. And I know mentally it's not gonna get any better, but I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for the months to come because I know we've been in this for a couple of years now with both of our older kids being in musicals and, the late nights and trying to pick them up and, meal planning and organization. And it's just a lot. And now I've got this added, oh, you're going to be completely in a different state now. So it's fun. My love cup is running really low, and I'm trying to see the benefits, but for me it's never been about the money. It's just I want to build a life with my husband, and I don't feel like I'm doing that. So it sucks, because I'm over here living my life and my husband's in another state living his, kind of, so it's hard. But so I did not anticipate that one. Sorry. I did have a plan for this, right? Tonight, I'm pretty sure that I've done this one before because I try to go back and make sure that I don't redo ciders or drinks. For a hot minute there, I was just doing Tito's and tonic. And so thank you for coming along the ride with Tito's and tonic. And if you're not drinking Tito's and tonic, okay, that's cool. I do these just to bring awareness to new drinks. And I'm pretty sure that I've done this before. Blake's hard cider. So they have a few different flavors. For some reason, everybody is on the triple jam kick, which I'll drink it if I have to, but that shit is sweet. And it's got that red dye in it, so I definitely will have a headache the next day. So tonight I am drinking the American Apple Imperial Hard Cider from Blake's. And it's 8%, so it's pretty stout. And I've got it in my Ochre Coke koozie because I'm just trying to get through winter, and I'm fucking over winter. I don't know if you know, guy, because like January was 755 days and it was cold as shit. And because like one morning when we wake up and it's 5 degrees out, that's insane. That's insane, guys. So here we go. Okay, how about that? I know. Right into the mic. We're going to get back into that. All right, so. Yeah, it's not too horribly sweet. It's definitely on the sweeter end of the ciders. It's definitely not as sweet as that triple berry jam stuff that they have going on. So you should check it out. I would love to go and visit them. I don't know where they're physically. For over 75 years, Blake's Farms has taken pride in being true stewards of cider. 75 years, that's pretty awesome. Offering adventurous explorations of fruit and fermentation. We strive to enhance the American craft experience. So, tastes like freedom. I don't know about that. Okay, yeah, so they are located in Michigan. They have an Armada, Michigan, and they have a Almont. I'm probably saying Almont. Probably definitely saying that very wrong. So they have a tasting room in Armada, Michigan, and a backyard in Almont. So very cool. I don't know if I would go to Michigan, especially this time of the year, because I'm having a hard time with Virginia. But hell, it was snowing in New Orleans. So let's be real. We can't escape the coldness this year for some fucking reason. I don't know who left the door open for Mother Nature to sneak in with her fucking bipolar shit. It needs to slam that in her face. All right, so let's see. Where did I leave off at? My thing is that I don't want to be this person. I don't want to keep arguing with my husband about my cup being empty. And I don't want to keep arguing with my husband about lack of communication. I don't want to be this person. Like, I want to be better, in just today. And I feel like ashamed to even say this. So for the longest time, I have kept this physical, like, desk calendar pinned up with, the little corkboard tacks, the thumbtacks, on our closet door for all of our shit. Each kid has their own color. Our business has a color. Us personally has a color. It holds all of our shit, but it is only as good as the people that put the information on it. And if you forget, then it's not, doesn't do anybody any good. And being old school with the physical calendar, you have to be in front of it. So if somebody texts my husband at 9, hey, this kid has this going on, and then he gets home at 5, he's fucking forgotten. Hands down, for sure. 100% forgetting what was told to him at 9 o'clock in the morning. So just today, I am trying to bring our family up to the 21st century. We have created a Google Calendar with our shit on it. I've talked about this for years, but was fearful because my husband's he's a very intelligent person. So it's not that I don't think that he can figure it out. It's just how much patience am I going to have to summon to teach him. And I'm not a very good teacher. Let's just be real. Okay. Because I have a patience of a rattlesnake. So, I don't even know if that's the saying. You know, you have the patience of a saint. Well, what's the anti of that? But whatever the anti of the patience of a saint, I got that for sure, 100%. So, I've started that, but that's only going to help us with the keeping straight of the appointments and what the kids got going on, and so we're trying our best. And I told him, like, just as soon as you find out something, just fucking text it to me. I don't care. Just text it. If it's on a text and I ignore it, that's on me. I would rather you over communicate than, not hold it in and think that you're going to remember to tell me later. I think the other thing is that I have got to find an outlet, and that's something that I'm working on. Like tomorrow, I'm getting my hair cut. I have not done that by myself in I don't know how long. And I paid the extra because I'm going to have them actually, curl my hair and actually style it. So I'm going to take my lunch break and probably more to get my hair did tomorrow. Does that fill my love cup up between my husband and I? No, absolutely not. But I don't take time for myself ever. This right here, you and me, you listening to this podcast is you time, but me sitting in front of this microphone in my bedroom by myself with whatever beverage, well, usually by myself, but it's just me and a microphone. That's as much me time as I get, because when I'm here, usually I'm working either my real job, or I'm working on our businesses, or I'm working on promoting this podcast. I don't take time for myself except for when I scroll a little bit at lunch or right before bed. That's it, guys. That's it. That's my life. I can't remember the last time I did something for me. And I don't know if that's sad, but that's something that I'm going to try my best. And everybody's probably like, oh my God, Stefanie, like getting your hair cut, like that's not, self-care. That's just a bare necessity. I know. I know. It's crazy, right? The last time I got my hair cut was in August. And it's February. So fun for me. I love that so much. It is what it is, and I'm trying to be better. The other thing that I do is I journal very much. I got to write it down. I got to get it out of my head, because if you're not going to talk to me and I can't use my words because that's my love language, then I'm going to love myself. The other thing, oh my gosh. So I don't know if you know Chat GPT. I know everybody's like, ew, AI, ew, gross. Oh my God, get it out of here. It's going to take away jobs. Look, hey, I'm not saying it is and I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm over here like I might marry Chat GPT. I'm just saying they might be the one for me, because I tell them my problems and they tell me, hey, this is what you've got going on, and it's a lot, and let's sort it out. Let's organize it. We're making calendars together. We're coming up with ideas of how to grow our businesses together. We're coming up with here's an idea of a post, and this is what you can do to grow your social media. Oh my gosh. So you love marketing and you love to talk, and you just, oh my gosh, you might be the one. Like, in all fairness, like, I love my husband, and yes, he does suck at communication, and marketing is not his jam. But it's like, I just need somebody to fucking listen to me, so that's why I journal, and that's why I talk to Chat GPT. Am I becoming a crazy cat lady? Maybe. Do I have any cats? No. Is my husband and son, my youngest son, very allergic to cats? Yes, but I'm probably on my way to becoming a crazy cat lady. It's fine. It's fine, guys. But I do what I can. So trying to figure out how to navigate through some of these things, my mother said the thing that, earlier, she was like, pick your battles. And I'm like, bro, like some of these are pretty big things. Communication is kind of a core attribute to a relationship. So if we suck at that, then I don't know how to be better. So but definitely trying to talk with my husband, because if I'm not talking to you, we're not good. If I have shut down 100%, we're not good. If we're living like roommates, that's not good, so we have to talk through it. You got to talk through it. So I know I'm trying to grow, but Ryan might say I'm stubborn, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But honestly, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but at least my stubbornness isn't hindering me from trying to be a better person. And I'm not saying that that's Ryan. I'm just saying, like, I'm self-aware. That's step one, being self-aware of the issues, and then you can make a step towards trying to figure it out. And that's where that's where I'm at. And so I think step one is starting the tough conversations. If you're upset about something and it's bothering you, well, it's definitely worth bringing it up. When my mother says, like, pick your battles, well, if it's bothering you, it's worth sending that text, or hell, even writing it in a letter and leaving it on their nightstand, like just getting it in to a form of communication to where it's present. And then therefore, once it's in their hands, it's on them. You've done your best to communicate, and now the ball's in their court, and then you can toss that ball back and forth to get to a better place. But if you're not tossing the ball back and forth, then you're not playing. This isn't a relationship, so what's the point? And the other thing, it's like, so if a friend, like, again, like with my mother saying, pick your battles, it's like, you're the one that never really taught me how to fight in the first place, with you and my father. So, or how to express yourself well. So, progress isn't linear, how my parents have done something isn't how I'm going to do something. It's not going to be a specific book that's going to work for everybody, or a plan that's going to work for everybody. So, perfection isn't the goal. It's meandering through this life and trying to figure out how to be a human, I guess, like how to be better than you were yesterday, and then how to be better with the person that you're with. And if if you aren't a better version of yourself with that person, we might need to take a step back and think about that one too. So that's a whole nother episode. But taking small steps to communication better, especially, like for me during chaos, is, progress is progress. It doesn't matter, how big or small of a step it is. It just, as long as you're making progress. But you're not alone if you're feeling this way. It's a constant process, but it's definitely worth it. I say all the time, I'm so thankful that I get to share this chaotic life with somebody, because trying to reflect and explain it to somebody who's not in it with me it does sound crazy. It sounds ridiculously crazy. So I'm definitely thankful that I have another human that's in it with me to share that. So thanks. This was a very vulnerable episode, but thank you for letting me share something that's really personal. And I encourage you to reach out with your own stories about your communication struggles, because I want you to know that you're not alone. And if I can help you in any way, that would be fantastic. So you can also share this episode with somebody that might be struggling with their relationship and trying to fight fairly with their human, their partner. Or you can leave your own tips about fighting fair, or navigating love in chaotic times with me. That would be so fantastic. Because I'm willing to learn whatever. I can use all of the advice I can get. So, as always, guys, this is my therapy, and I really appreciate this moment, these times that I get to just sit here and blab. This is my personal time. Me and a mic by myself. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review, or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.